My name is Erin Harris. This name once appeared in the business section of the New York Times, not because I was dead, but because my sister said I didn't deserve to live. Her name is Claire, 3 years younger than me. When we were little, she always followed me around. Mom said she was my shadow. Shadows don't hurt people. But Claire wasn't a shadow, she was a hunter, and I was her prey. It took me 30 years to realize that. 5 years ago that night, at the company we co-founded, she accused me of embezzlement in front of all the staff. She produced bank records, transfer slips, and forged emails. All the evidence pointed to me. Shay didn't cry, didn't hesitate. She just stood there, her voice steady as if reading a financial report. Erin, you've disappointed me. I remember how quiet the conference room was in that moment. So quiet you could hear the hum of the central air conditioning. Both sides of the long table were lined with staff. Some still had coffee mugs in their hands, and the coffee had gone cold. Mr. Johnson, the CFO, took off his glasses and wiped them repeatedly, as if making sure he wasn't seeing things. Lisa from admin covered her mouth. Her bright red nails blazed under the lights. And Claire stood in front of the projection screen, wearing that gray suit I went shopping with her to buy. There was no anger in her eyes, no sorrow, nothing at all. When she finished, the air in the room felt sucked out. I opened my mouth to speak, but something was stuck in my throat. I couldn't talk, not because I was wrong, but because I was shocked. I never thought she would do this. We were sisters who grew up together, partners who built a business together, the people who trusted each other most. Yet there she stood, using papers I'd never seen to push me off a cliff. The employees stared at me, their eyes mixed with shock, confusion, and a faint, unspoken schadenfreude. The board suspended me that same day. That night I went back to our shared apartment in Manhattan. Her things were already gone. Half the closet was empty, her toothbrush missing from the bathroom. The photo we'd taped on the fridge was gone too. It was taken on our company's opening day, both of us smiling till our eyes crinkled. Only a single note remained stuck to the inside of the fridge. Written on it were 4 words, "Take care of yourself." It was her handwriting. I'd know it anywhere. She always stretched the stroke of the character good when she wrote, a habit she'd kept since childhood. I stared at the note for a long time. I took it out, folded up, and slipped it into my pocket. 3 days later, my name was all over the financial media. Harris Group CFO suspected of embezzling millions. Sister turns her in. People in the comments didn't know me, but they knew to hate me. They called me an ungrateful wretch, a liar, said I deserved it. One comment I still remember, from a user named NYC07. Such a sister doesn't deserve any sympathy. I turned off my phone, but I still saw it. It was on TV, in newspapers, flashing on strangers' screens. All of New York was talking about me, and I was invisible, with nowhere to hide. My lawyer told me I could face 3 to 5 years in prison if it went criminal. As he spoke, the office blinds were half drawn, sunlight slanting in stripes across his desk. His face was calm, like a doctor telling a patient their diagnosis. But Claire never called the police. She chose internal handling on one condition. I give up all my shares, sign a non-pursuit agreement, and disappear from the company. I signed. Not because I was guilty, but because I had no money to fight. I built the company from scratch, from a tiny rented office in Queens to a fancy skyscraper in Manhattan, from just the 2 of us to over 100 employees. I handled finance, she ran operations, we worked perfectly together. But the shares were in her name. She said, "Sis, you manage the money. It's bad for audits if the shares are in your name." I believed her. I believed everything. All I had was salary and bonuses. She left me not a single dollar. The day I left, before the elevator doors closed, I saw her standing at the end of the hallway, smiling at her phone, triumphant, relieved. I'd seen that smile before, when she got first place in a test as a kid, and Mom praised her. It said I did it. I'm safe. I don't have to worry anymore. I stared at my reflection in the stainless steel, pale face, swollen eyes, chapped lips, messy hair. I didn't recognize this person. Or maybe I'd never known the real me at all. Ruined reputation is worse than prison. Prison has walls that lock your shame inside. Ruin has no walls. People point and whisper everywhere you go. I went to the supermarket for milk. The cashier glanced at me, looked down at her phone, then glanced again. I knew that look too well. Not anger, curiosity, like looking at an animal in a zoo. I put the milk down and left, not because I couldn't afford it, but because I couldn't stand that look. I moved to Brooklyn, into a tiny apartment. The window faced a brick wall, no sky visible. Rent was $850 a month, the cheapest I could find. The living room was about 10 square meters. The bedroom fit only a single bed. The kitchen and bathroom were combined. The toilet seat got wet when I showered. My first night there, I sat on the bed staring at the red brick wall across from me, with a water stain shaped like a crying face. I cried. Not loudly, just tears streaming down, impossible to wipe away. I deleted all my social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, every last one. Not because I was scared, but because I couldn't bear to read the comments. Strangers judged me with keyboards, shamed me with emojis, and celebrated my fall with shares and likes. I couldn't take it. But before deleting, I saved a screenshot of one comment, written by a woman I didn't know. Whether she stole money or not, being treated like this by her own sister must have broken her heart. She was right. I was broken. Not without a word. Claire had called them. She said them. I'm not asking you to take sides, I'm just warning you. Associating with someone who embezzled money is bad for your reputation. They chose their reputations. Catherine, my college new-mate, was my best friend. We got through finals together, pulled all-nighters in the library, got drunk at graduation. When she called me, her voice shaking, she said,
"Erin, I'm sorry. My husband says..."
"You don't need to say anything, I understand." I hung up and deleted her number. Not out of hate, but to spare her the trouble. Mark, my old business partner, fought beside me for 5 years through the hardest times. I replied with one line, "Mark, do you remember our first handshake?" He never wrote back. I don't blame them, because I might have hesitated too in their place. People seek advantage and avoid harm. I just didn't know that before. I was naive. I thought if you were good to people, they'd be good to you. Later I learned, people are good to you because you're useful. When you're no longer useful, they don't need you. I used my last money to open a tiny bakery in an industrial area of Brooklyn, cheap rent, few customers. The street was Grand Street, lined with warehouses and auto shops, the air always smelling of motor oil. My shop was wedged between a tire store and a scrapyard, less than 3 meters wide. The sign was painted by me, Susan's Bakery. Susan was my mother's name. She'd passed away, but I wanted her with me. I got up at 4 every morning to knead dough, let it rise, bake bread. Before at the company, I managed millions in cash flow. Now I manage the ratio of flour, water, and yeast. Before, my tools were Excel spreadsheets and accounting software. Now they were a rolling pin in an oven. Before, I faced the board and investors. Now I face dough. It never betrays you if you get the recipe right. No one knew who I was. No one asked what I used to do. They just came to buy bread, saying, "This is good, that's too sweet, will you have more tomorrow?" It was enough. Being unknown was a kind of freedom. Claire's company went public the next year. She stood on the bell-ringing stage, in a red suit, hair permed, smiling confidently. When she rang the bell, the sound filled the hall, and everyone clapped for her. I watched the video on my phone. The clock struck exactly 4. I turned off the screen and went to knead dough. The dough was extra hard that day, because I pressed too hard. My knuckles ached for days, but I didn't care. Physical pain is easier than heartache. You know when physical pain will end, but heartache has no end. 5 years later, I now have 3 bakeries. Not a chain, just because the original shop was too small for bigger ovens. The first is still on Grand Street, the second in Williamsburg, the third the one I always wanted by Spect Park, with a big glass window letting in sunlight. My manager is Maria, a Puerto Rican woman in her 40s, mother of 3. She applied when I was at my lowest. She had just lost her job, with only $50 left. I said I'd give her a chance, and she'd give me honest work. She's worked 5 years, never late once. My manager is Maria, a Puerto Rican woman in her 40s, mother of 3. She applied when I was at my lowest. She'd just lost her job, with only $50 left. I said I'd give her a chance, and she'd give me honest work. She's worked 5 years, never late once. We have an unspoken understanding. She knows I went through something terrible, but she never asks. Sometimes she glances at me when I'm lost and thined, then quietly sets a coffee beside me. She never says, "Are you okay?" Those words are too light to hold such weight. Claire announced she's running for mayor of New York. The news is everywhere. Her posters cover every subway station. On the poster, she wears a dark blue coat profile to the camera with the Brooklyn Bridge behind her. Her campaign slogan, "For every New Yorker." Everyone, except me. In an interview, she said she was an only child, that her parents gave her all their love, so she learned to be independent. An only child. She called herself an only child. She erased me from the family story, just like she erased me from the company 5 years ago. I stared at the screen. I'd kneaded the dough too long, the gluten broken, the bread would be tough. I threw it in the trash. Not out of anger, but because it was useless. People are the same. Over-kneaded, we can never go back to how we were. I can only make something new. I couldn't sleep that night. I lay in bed, staring at the crack in the ceiling, like an upside-down map marking every rainy season in this old apartment. I thought of when we were little, living in a small house in Queens, Claire and I sharing a bedroom. She was afraid of the dark. She could only sleep if I left the desk lamp on. I was on the top bunk, she on the bottom. I could reach down and touch her hair. She'd
"Sis, tell me a story."
and I would, about princesses, fairies, all the beautiful things. She'd fall asleep mid-story, breathing soft and even like a little cat. How did that little girl afraid of the dark become this woman? I'll never understand. Maybe I never will. Some questions have no answers, only facts. The facts. She did what she did. She disowned me. She stood in the spotlight and called herself an only child. Those facts are bricks, piled one by one, building a wall between us. I don't hate her, but I can't pretend nothing happened. Claire needed a bakery to cater her campaign events. Her team reached out to a dozen shops, mine included. My manager Maria took the call, ran to me, asking if we should take it. She held a note with the date, address, quantity, and budget.
Susan, do you know whose campaign this is?
She always calls me Susan, the bakery's name, my identity here. I looked at her and thought for a long time. Yes.
Why?
Because I want to see her. To see if the woman who called herself an only child would recognize me standing before her. Probably not, because I've changed, older, heavier, hands covered in flour. 5 years changes a lot, especially a woman's face. I have fine lines at my eyes, loose skin on my cheeks, a few gray hairs. I no longer wear suits or heels, just jeans, t-shirts, an apron, hair tied back roughly. This is the real me. The polished Erin Harris before was a role I played for 30 years. Susan now is the real me. I delivered the order myself. I wanted some fresh air. I packed the bread in boxes, loaded the car, and drove to the venue. It was at a community center, small but carefully decorated. Balloons, banners, stickers with Claire's name, volunteers in matching t-shirts handing out flyers. It was at a community center, small but carefully decorated. Croissants, brioches, whole wheats toast, butter rolls, each wrapped in baking paper, neatly lined up on trays. No one noticed me, only the bread. The crowd clapped, flashes popped everywhere. Her voice came through the speakers, a little hoisey, but steady. She talked about her platform: better public transit, more affordable housing, supporting small businesses. The crowd listened intently, nodding in agreement. She used lots of data and examples, sounding very convincing. I watched her from the corner. She's older than 5 years ago. Deeper nasolabial folds, more noticeable bags under her eyes, but calmer. She no longer has to act confident. She is confidence itself. Maybe because she truly believes what she says. Maybe because she's lied to herself so long she can't tell truth from fiction. When Claire came off stage, she passed the snack table. She took a croissant and bit into it.
This is good. Which bakery is this?
It's from a new bakery, ma'am.
Her assistant named my shop. Oh, use them again next time.
Yes.
She didn't recognize me. Not because my face changed, but because she never imagined I'd be here. In her mind, I was gone. Once someone is labeled non-existent, you don't see them even when they're right in front of you. I carried the boxes out. The sun was bright. I loaded the boxes into the car and checked her polls on my phone. She was leading, by a lot. She was going to win. I turned off my phone and started the car. In the rearview mirror, the venue door shrank until it was a dot. The car was quiet, only an old song on the radio. I don't remember the title, but the melody was familiar. I hummed along, realizing I was off key. I laughed. A laugh with no emotion, just my mouth lifting mechanically. The campaign entered its final month. Claire led her opponent by double digits. Everyone thought she'd win, including herself. She relaxed, appearing at every event, smiling, shaking hands, signing autographs. She listed my shop as a third-party vendor on her campaign website. Not because my bread was good, because it was cheap. She didn't hire big-name suppliers. They cost too much. She wasn't stupid. She knew to spend money where it counted. Bread was small, tasty enough, brand didn't matter. My shop got more orders because of this. Not big ones, just walk-ins. Some people saw the recommendation online and came here specifically to buy bread. Maria was happy, calling it free advertising. She didn't know the truth. It wasn't advertising, just coincidence. Claire didn't know the shop was mine. If she did, she'd switch. Because my existence reminded her she wasn't an only child. One day a reporter came, saying he'd seen our link on Claire's website, wanting to do a story on local small businesses behind the campaign. Maria was thrilled, telling me to do the interview. No, you do it. Why? I don't like having my picture taken. She glanced at me and didn't push. That's why I love her. She asks when she should, stays quiet when she shouldn't. But that night, after closing, I sat alone by the window thinking for a long time. What if the reporter found out who I really was? What if he printed it? What would happen to Claire's campaign? How would her supporters see her? Would the people who voted for her thinking she was honest be disappointed? I asked myself, do I want her to lose? The answer, no. Not because I still love her, but because I don't want her defeat to be my revenge. That's not justice, it's retaliation. Revenge won't make me happier. It'll only make me like her. On the eve of the election, Claire held her final rally at a hotel in Manhattan. I wasn't invited, but I went. Not as a guest, but as part of the crew. I stood outside, smoking with the drivers. I didn't have a cigarette, I just smelled the smoke. I used to smoke, quit, not for health, but because I couldn't afford it. Back then, I'd just left the company. Only a few $1,000s left. Every penny counted. $12 a pack, enough for a bag of flour. Later I could afford it, but didn't want to anymore. Don't know why, just didn't. Maybe because all those years of smoking didn't really relax me, I was just hurting my lungs. Claire came out of the hotel, getting ready to leave. Her assistant opened the door. As she bent down, she saw me. Just one glance. She froze for a second, then got in. The door closed. The windows were tinted, no view inside. But I saw that 1 second of freeze, that was enough. She recognized me. She knew I was still here. I stood there, watching the black SUV merge into traffic. Its taillights flashing a few times in the dark, then disappearing around the corner of 42nd Street. The drivers put out their cigarettes and got into their cars. An old driver named Tony clapped my shoulder.
Come on, Susan. Why smell if you don't smoke?
Okay. Driving back, I thought about that 1 second. What was in that second? Surprise? Fear? Guilt? Something else? I don't know, but I know she didn't call me. Didn't send her assistant, didn't text. She just got in and left. As if she'd seen nothing. But she did see. At 7 on election day, Claire went to vote. The press surrounded her at the entrance. She stood out in her red coat. After voting, she held up her sticker and smiled at the cameras. I stood far away, across the street from the polling place. She finished voting, got in the car, and left for her next event. I followed, taking a taxi. Not stalking. A company. I wanted to stay with her till the end, watch her win, watch her think she'd won. The taxi driver was an elderly Indian man. A small elephant god hung in the car. The air he looked at me in the rearview mirror and asked where I was going. I said to follow the black SUV ahead.
Are you a reporter?
I said no.
A detective?
No again. She's my sister.
Then why are you following her?
He stared at me in the mirror for a long time, then nodded, saying nothing. Indians seem to understand complicated family bonds. Maybe they watch too many movies. Sister feuds are twistier than love stories. Voting closed at 8 that night. Claire's team waited in the hotel ballroom. A big screen showed live vote counts. Claire led the whole time, never falling behind from the 1st district. At 9, the media declared her the winner. The ball, champagne corks popped, bubbles spraying the ceiling. We did it. Claire stood on stage, holding a champagne flask, smiling, waving at the cameras. Her red coat blazed like fire under the lights. Passionate, brilliant, unbeatable. I stood in the corner, holding an envelope. Inside were copies of the evidence she'd forged years ago. I'd kept them secretly, not as proof, as a reminder of what she owed me. For 5 years, I'd kept them in a manila envelope at the bottom of my closet, under winter sweaters and summer sheets. I never opened them. I knew what was inside. But I never threw them away, afraid I might need them one day. Did I need them today? I didn't know. I stood there, gripping the envelope. The paper edges dug into my palm, hurting a little. I wondered, what if I walked out now, stood before her, and opened this envelope? What would happen to the people clapping? Would the freshly raised champagne flax drop? What would those freshly dried tears become? But I didn't move. Not out of fear, but waiting for needed the moment at all. After the victory party, Claire went to her room. The person who opened the door was her assistant, a young woman, probably 25 or 26, wearing a smile I was looking for. I'm here for Clarissa Vogger. Her eyes held polite doubt, but she went in to announce me. When she came out, let her in. The room was huge, a hotel presidential's room. A champagne bucket held half a bottle. Floor-to-ceiling windows showed the Manhattan skyline, bright as a never-sleeping diamond mine. Claire sat on the sofa, holding a champagne glass. I said I was the owner of the bakery and wanted to have a few words with Claire. It's Erin Harris. I was in jeans and an old gold hoodie, hair unwashed from kneading dough, most of my makeup gone. My name is Erin Harris. Claire sat on the sofa holding a champagne glass. When she saw my face, her glass didn't drop, but her fingers tightened. She didn't stand, just stared at me. Susan? She used my bakery name, not mine. Susan, what are you doing here? I'm not Susan, I'm Erin. She was silent for a long time, half her face in light, half in shadow, like a Chalosno painting. I set the envelope on the coffee table. She glanced at it, not opening it. What is this? The documents you forged back then. Copies. I kept one set. Her fingers trembled, but her voice didn't. What do you want? I don't want money, apologies, or you dropping out. You'll take the stage tomorrow, in front of everyone. Say what you did. Then I'll forgive you. What if I don't? Then these copies go to every media inbox. She looked down at the envelope. Manhattan blazed outside. Her lashes cast a shadow under her eyes. She was silent so long I thought she wouldn't answer. You know they won't believe me. Maybe. But they'll investigate. The truth will come out. She looked up at me. Her eyes were red, but she didn't cry. She never cried in front of me, not since we were little. She always hid to cry, closed the door, muffled her voice. I know this habit. I once listened secretly when she cried.
How long did you hate me?
5 years. Every day.
Now?
I don't hate you now. Hating is too tiring. She froze. Maybe she thought I'd say I still hated her. Maybe she braced for anger and blame. But when I said I didn't hate her anymore, she didn't know how to react. Then why make me admit it in front of everyone? Not for you. For the people who believe in you. They voted for you not because you're trustworthy, but because they don't know the truth. Are you so sure the truth will disappoint them? Maybe not. Maybe they don't care what you did, only what you say now. She looked up at me. Her eyes were red. Claire, you can stand on stage and say you're an only child, that you built the company alone, or you can say you have a sister, and you're sorry to her. It's your choice. She stood up, walked to the window, her back to me. Her shoulders shook. I stood there, not going to her, because she didn't need a hug, she needed time. The victory speech was held at a convention center in Manhattan. The stage was set with backbend microphones. Hundreds of supporters sat below, press with cameras at the back. Claire stood off stage, holding her speech, fingers rubbing the paper edge. Her assistant stood nearby, on the phone, talking to someone. Her campaign manager arranged seats in the audience, telling people to sit. I stood at the very back, leaning against the wall. No one noticed me. The choice was hers, not mine. Those minutes of waiting felt like hours. I watched her back. She took deep breaths. Her shoulders rose and fell, slow and steady. She glanced at the script now and then looked up, as if memorizing. Her campaign manager came over, said something. She nodded. I suddenly remembered years ago her first school speech. It was her first time in heels. Afraid of falling, she made me walk with her in the living room for half the night.
Sis, I'm nervous.
Just remember you're the best.
What if I mess up?
No one will know. They don't have your script. Now she had a script too, but this time was different. This time the words she'd say weren't on the page. Claire walked onto the stage. Applause erupted. She stood at the microphone, looking at faces she knew and didn't know. Her first words, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your vote. Applause broke out again. Then she said, I need to say to something I've never said before. The room went silent. Not a normal silence. A heavy silence, like an invisible curtain falling from the ceiling. I have a sister named Erin. She's 3 years older, took care of me since we were little. She stayed with me when I was sick, walked me to school, held me when I was scared. She was my best friend, but I betrayed her. Stood up in the audience. It's not true that I'm an only child. I have a sister. Her name is Erin, and she's still here. I erased her from my life because I did something terrible. She wasn't the one who embezzled. Her voice finally started to shake. It was me. Crying came from the audience. I forged all that evidence back then. She never took $1 from the company. I did. I cooked the books, covered all traces, and blamed it on her. Not because she did anything wrong, because I was jealous of her. She was smarter, harder working, kinder than me. Everyone loved her. Mom loved her more. I thought if she disappeared, that love would transfer to me. But it didn't. She disappeared, and the love never came. What came was empty applause, empty praise, empty titles. Crying grew louder in the crowd. People wiped tears, stared at the floor, stood frozen as if nailed to their seats. Crying grew louder in the crowd. People wiped tears, stared at the floor, stood frozen as if nailed to their seats. Her campaign manager covered his face, shoulders shaking. Claire's voice shook, but she didn't cry. She gripped the podium tight, knuckles white. Only today do I realize what I wanted most wasn't you electing me. It was her saying she could forgive me. She finished her last sentence and bowed her head. The room was silent for a long time. Then applause started, but not from everyone. Some left, some stayed to clap. The applause was mixed, sincere, forced, confused. But it came, anyway. Claire looked toward the back. Her gaze cut through the crowd, through the lights to the wall at the very back. I was still there. I leaned against the wall, not clapping. She looked at me. I couldn't speak, but I didn't need to. She'd said what she needed to say. She stepped off stage and left through the side door. Her assistant chased after her, her campaign manager, the press swarmed. But I didn't need to swarm. I knew she wouldn't come back. She didn't need to. She'd done it. I turned and pushed open the convention center door. The sky was bright blue outside, the wind strong. I walked into the wind, not looking back. I went back to the bakery.
Why you was so late? I'd run an errand?
She asked what errand. I said I'd seen someone. She didn't push. Dough needed kneading, ovens preheating, customers waiting. Life doesn't stop because someone cried. The sun shone brightly that afternoon through the bakery's big glass window, turning flour dust into golden stars. I stood at the counter, took dough from the bowl, set it on the floured surface. When my fingers sank into the dough, the soft, warm, alive feel grounded me. So many things in this world lie, but dough doesn't. Give it the right temperature, water, yeast, and it grows. Knead too hard, and it breaks. Ignore it, and it collapses. It's like an honest child. No secrets, showing you everything you do to it. News of Claire dropping out came that afternoon. The headline was short. Claire Harris drops out of NYC mayoral race amidst framing own sister. The comments exploded. Some said she deserved it, some called her brave, some asked where her sister was. The sister was here, kneading dough, hands covered in flour. I didn't need them to find me. I only needed them to know the truth. And they did. That was enough. Bread sold especially well that night, not because it was better, but people wanted to taste the bread made by the framed sister. Some said it tasted bitter, some sweet, some salty with tears. It's just bread. I said only flour, water, salt, yeast, nothing else. They didn't believe me, but it didn't matter. Like the truth, you think you know it, but you only see one angle. After closing that night, I sat in the empty shop, broke off a piece of Dover bread and ate it, chewed for a long time, swallowed. It just tasted like bread, nothing more. But I cried. Not sad, not happy, an indescribable relief, like a breath held for far too long finally let out, and I felt it then, that quiet, certain knowledge. I took the Mananally envelope from my pocket, opened it, laid the copies on the table one by one. I remembered every paper, bank records, transfer stits, emails. I remembered the font she used, the fake timestamps, which printer she'd used. I looked at each one, then stacked them back into the envelope. Then I put the envelope into the shredder. The noise was loud, crunching, like chewing bones. The shredder ate the envelope, spitting thin strips into the bin below. I stared at the strips. They looked like snow, white, soft, light. Snow melts, and these things melted too, no longer hurting anyone. I turned off the shredder and washed my hands. Claire moved out of her Manhattan apartment to a place where no one knew her. Her assistant didn't follow. Her campaign manager didn't either. Her social media went silent. She changed her phone number. But she sent me a letter to the bakery. No signature, just an address. The envelope said, for Erin. The handwriting was messy, not neat like before. She used to write beautifully practiced calligraphy, every letter round and smooth. But this letter looked like a child's. Some strokes redrawn again and again, as if her hand shook. I opened it next to the counter. Maria kneaded dough, the proofer humming softly. The letter was short, on plain white paper, no greeting, no signature. I've left you part of my savings from these years, not as compensation, because it can never repay what I did. I won't come into your life unless you want me to. I know. I don't deserve you, but I need you. I read that last line several times. She had it backwards. She needed me. I didn't need her, but she wrote, I don't deserve you, but I need you. Maybe it wasn't a mistake. Maybe that's what she really meant. She was the one who needed, not the one needed. I put the letter in a drawer, not replying, not unforgiving, not in a hurry. She waited 5 years to hear me say I could forgive her. I could wait a few more for her. Dough rose in the bakery. Customers lined up outside. The oven temperature perfect. Life goes on. That day at lunch, Maria walked in and found me sitting there staring into space.
What are you thinking about?
Missing my little sister.
You have a little sister too?
Yes.
Not on good terms?
Not before, not sure now. She nodded and said something in Puerto Rican Spanish I didn't understand, but her eyes were warm. Later I asked what it meant. She said, time will give you a hug. I thought she was right. I didn't use the money Claire sent. Not that I didn't want it, I didn't need it. My bakery didn't need expanding. My life didn't need luxury. I saved it. Maybe use it later, maybe never. Money isn't the goal, it's just a tool. I already had my tools. My hands, my recipe, my oven. That was enough. How's your sister? Don't know. Aren't you gonna find her? She came to see me, then left. Will she come back? Maybe. Do you want her to? I didn't answer. Not because I didn't know, but because the answer was in my heart. No need to say it. That night, I dreamed of us as kids. The dream was clear, like a restored old movie. We sat under the apple tree in the backyard. She leaned on my shoulder, holding a picture book. She pointed to a word and asked what it was. I said, forgiveness.
What forgiveness meant. When someone hurts you, and you stop being angry. If she ever hurt me, would I forgive her too? Of course. You're my sister.
I woke up at that point. The crack in the ceiling was still there in the dark. I rolled over, pulled the blanket to my chin, and I closed my eyes and went back to sleep. At 4 the next morning, my alarm went off. I got up, washed my face, changed clothes, went downstairs. Maria was already there, measuring flour. The kitchen light was white and bright, making the space clean as an operating room. I tied on my apron, reached into the flour bag, and felt the familiar dry, soft texture. This is how days are lived. Claire really came. One afternoon, months later, she pushed open the bakery door, wearing a gray coat, no makeup, what you wanted. Everything. What do you mean everything? One of each. She packed a bag, handed it over, said the price. No, it's on me. Claire. She turned around. I looked at her. Her eyes were swollen, like she'd been crying. Her lips were cracked, her face pale, thinner than when I last saw her. Her gray coat was piled, cuffs frayed, like she'd worn it for ages without changing. Come in and sit. She hesitated, then nodded. She sat at the corner table, the bag of bread in front of her, not eating. I made a new batch, watching her through the glass. She looked older, much older than I remembered. 5 years ages a person, not the body, but the heart. Aging body can be covered with makeup and surgery, but aging heart shows in the eyes. Impossible to hide. There was something in her eyes I'd never seen before. Tiredness? Guilt? Something else? I couldn't name it. But it made her look like someone who'd survived a storm. The storm passed. She was still standing, but covered in scars. I brought over a cup of coffee and set it in front of her. Thank you. You're welcome. I sat across from her. Sunlight came through the window, falling on the table between us. Tiny dust floated in the light, slow and aimless. I've been seeing a therapist. Does it help? It helps, but not enough. I couldn't sleep at night, closed her eyes and saw herself on stage. She didn't regret it, but wasn't at peace. A long road lay between regret and peace. I was still walking it. Her fingers circled the coffee cup rim again and again, making a soft squeak. I'm walking too, just a different direction. Where are you now? To where I can sit here and drink coffee with you. She bowed head, saying nothing. The coffee went cold, she didn't drink it. Later she left, lo the bremball. I gave the bread to customers. No one knew who bought it, but they enjoyed it. An elderly woman bought a croissant, bit into it, said it tasted like sunshine. I didn't know what sunshine tasted like, but if she said so, it did. That night, Maria saw the leftover bread while cleaning the counter, asked what happened. My sister came by but left it. She'll come back. How do you know? Because leaving the bread means she left a way back. People only leave things behind when they're sure they'll come back. But maybe she just watched too many romance movies, fitting every plot to that trope. Didn't matter. Life went on whether she came back or not. Dough didn't wait, ovens didn't wait, customers didn't wait. I started planning something new, opening a second chance center. Not for ex-convicts, for people abandoned, stigmatized, misunderstood, like me, betrayed by family, framed by colleagues, cyberbullied. They needed more than legal help, courage, and ways to start over. The idea came to me one early morning. I sat in the empty bakery staring at the dark street outside and thought, how many people in this world lost everything because of someone else's lie? They weren't as lucky as me, able to start over the bakery. They might not even be able to afford bread. I had no funding, no space, only myself. But I had bakery bread. Accepting the check meant buying into the idea you can atone with money, but I didn't believe that. If money could atone, rich people could do anything they wanted. I didn't believe that. The Second Chance Center opened in an old warehouse in Brooklyn. Red brick walls, concrete floors, no heating. Winter wind seeped through window cracks, making people shiver. But we had lights, tables, chairs, a hot water kettle. That was enough. Only Maria and I were there on opening day. Housewarming. This doesn't even qualify as a housewarming. It's just a dilapidated warehouse. Even a dilapidated warehouse can bring joy, as long as people are happy. We set folding chairs on the concrete, wiped dust off the walls, hung a whiteboard. On the board, we wrote what we offered: legal advice, counseling, job training, emergency food. I added the last one: hungry people can't do anything. The first person to come was a woman named Margaret. In her 50s, she'd been a nurse, framed by a colleague for stealing medicine, lost her license. She said she didn't do it, but no one believed her.
I didn't steal it, but nobody believes me.
Can you still work as a nurse?
No, my license was revoked.
What else can you do?
Don't know.
She bowed her head, staring at her hands. Rough hands, short nails, a dark red scar on the back, like a burn. I connected her with a nursing home. They needed aides, no license required. She interviewed, got the job. On her first day, she called to say thank you. Her voice shook over the phone, but I could hear it was happy shaking.
Thank you.
Not a polite laugh, one from the heart. A little cough, like a long-held breath finally released.